Sports fans, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? Top 5 Sports Pet Peeves video. Without further ado, let's kick things off. I know you guys have top 5 Sports Pet Peeves as well. So, list them in the comments. Give them to me, baby. Give it to me. And number 1 for me is oversensitivity. I'm all about constructive criticism, so I'm going to be harsh. But I'm not about that whole deconstructive criticism, name calling, all this kind of stuff. Don't worry, I'm going to get to the others later in the video. But, like I said, criticism, you got to have them. And it's up to the athlete, he or she or they, do they do nothing with it or they do something with it and become a better athlete. But what I am really tired of is the oversensitivity, not just in sports, but in society overall. You can have one constructive criticism, just one, or say anything. They got these Piccolo ears, Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z, he can hear anything miles and miles away. Some people call it rabbit ears. They'll hear everything. Next thing you know, they just fly off the handle and get ticked off and just turn into doomsday, and get all angry. Get all sensitive and everything, all up in their feelings. Martellus Bennett, and Des Bryant, for examples, LeBron James has a tendency to be oversensitive. So, number 2, overuse, misuse words like elite, great, or that dude is a kid, this, that, and third. Okay, let me get that part out the way. I can't stand in today's sports where you got commentators, analysts, label an athlete a grown adult a kid. I don't care if they're in their early 20s, late teens, that's one thing. But if they're in their early 20s, mid 20s, why are you still calling them a kid? Seriously, why? That I never understood that. Just stop it. It's stupid. Elite, oh my goodness. I hear this a lot, especially in National Football League and National Basketball Association. Boy, that gets thrown around a lot to the point where it's just misused more than overused. Speaking of overused and misused and abused like it's no tomorrow, the word great. This player's great. That player's great. Everybody's great. It drives me up the wall. Just because that player had one good season does not make him a great player overall. He has to sustain greatness. He has to be consistent throughout his career. It just, I hate that. You hear this a lot. Well, I hear the word great far too much nowadays. Number 3, commentary. Back in the day, you got John Madden, Pat Summerall, talking about sports, talking about football, calling the game, Al Michaels. Watch Monday Night Football on ABC. Just NBA on NBC, which is awesome. Calling the sports. It's awesome. If they see something that the athlete didn't do or did do, they will either criticize or praise them. It wasn't this personal attack. It wasn't like Saturday Night Live comedy show that we're seeing now in the last several years. Nowadays, everybody wants to be a damn comedian. You got Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Oh my goodness, if you get me started on those two clowns, I'm going to bang my head against the desk so hard. Mama, there goes that man. Whatever that stupid catchphrase Mark Jackson said. Hand down, man down, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Jeff Van Gundy, you can't understand a word that comes out of his mouth. Chris Collinsworth, don't get me started. Rondé Barber. You know how I feel about him, so let's just keep moving. Number 4, changing rules for the sake of changing. I'm all for changing the rules of certain sports, to make it faster, make it safer, whatever. Why does it every time something happens, this rule has to change, that rule has to change? Oh, field goals in football. Oh, field goals has to go. It sucks. It's boring. Or kickoffs has to go. Or basketball. Get rid of 3-pointers like Dick Vitale in college basketball because, it's easy. It's a low percentage shot. When I say low percentage shot, I mean not everybody making threes. Not everybody's going to have this high percentage in a 3-point arc. It's not. 3-point has been around for not just college basketball, but basketball in general since, 1970s, 1980s. You want to get rid of it because you don't like it? Get out of here. Get out. And last but not least, the fans. With big, bold, capital letters. Fans take things way too far. You beat each other up over the love of sports. We kill each other over sports. I mean, we can agree to disagree without the name calling. Unfortunately, like I said, it takes things way too seriously, way too far. It's unnecessary. Fans need to pump the brakes. They really do. I'm a sports fan, and there are times where I'm ashamed to be a sports fan because the way, fans act. Going to the game, you gotta hear a bunch of people cussing in front of kids. And I'm like, really? I'm not gonna tell that person how to parent their kids or anything, but you're an adult. Don't you think you need to be, more responsible teaching them right from wrong, set an example in a positive way instead of, negative? Just throwing that out there. So, those are my top 5. What's yours? Have at it. Share it with friends, family members, co-workers, strangers, whoever. And with that, SA17, salute. Talk to you guys later.